Hello, future people! Welcome to Getting Tabled. I'm Jason the Bruce, and welcome back to Prepare for Conquest. Today, we're going to have a look at the Dweghom, and we're looking at a character whose name I'm still struggling to say. The Hold Raegh. You can arrange your brushes, prepare your clippers and your knives, but sometimes no matter how many tools or paints you have, it's not enough if the dice are not on your side. Sometimes you only have one choice, and that choice is to prepare for conquest. So, first things first, did I get the name right? I have absolutely no idea. I'm just trying to say it how I say it. So, the Hold Raegh is the next character for the Dweghom. Let's head across and have a look. So, here we go. The Hold Raegh is an infantry type. He's a heavy class, and he's going to cost you 80 points. You're looking at 5 movement, 1 volley, 4 clash, 5 attacks, 4 wounds, 5 resolve, 4 defense, and no evade. As far as special rules is concerned, you've got character, which is fairly obvious, and you've got cleave 1, which we have seen before, but I'm going to go through again just for the people that need to. Enemy regiments suffer a penalty to their defences against hits with this special rule made during a clash or a duel action, equal to the rule's attributes. So, 1 in this case. If you take this guy as your warlord, you're gaining a supremacy ability called the Mountain Stance. Hold Thane regiments have their class changed to medium instead of heavy. In addition, heavy regiments in this army add 1 to their reinforcement rolls. This supremacy ability is always considered to be active. Now, if you want to build your forces around a heavy style of unit, this is the guy that you need to have as your leader, because it's making all of that easier to come on. First and foremost, this means that your heavy Hold Thanes have the ability to come on earlier than they normally would. If you're not aware with how the entrance works into Conquest, your light units are allowed to come onto the board before everything else, and then your medium, and then your heavy. So that's going to mean that those Hold Thanes can come in a whole step earlier. There's nothing negative about that at all. And then on top of that, when the heavies are being rolled for, you've got a +1 bonus on top of it as well. So there's very, very little negative in this. Assuming, of course, that that's the way that you want to build your army. There's no draw events on this guy. We are going to have a look at some options in the Relics in a moment, but I want to start down the bottom with the Warband. So, with their mainstays, we have the Hold Ballistay, Hold Thanes, that should have been fairly obvious, and the Hold Warriors. In Restricted, we have Dragon Slayers, Fireforged, Ironclad Drake, and Stoneforge. Now, as far as the Relics is concerned, there is a couple that I want to point out. Now, unlike a few of the other ones, there's no one, to me at least, that really stands out above anything else. And by mentioning a couple, I'm not saying that the others aren't worth looking at. I'm just picking a couple that kind of stood out to me. And I'm going to start by looking at the Tempted Gourd, which will cost you 15 points. This character stand may spend an action to activate the item. If it does, a brute or monster regiment within 12 inches gains the Aura of Death special rule until the end of the next supremacy phase. Now, the negative of this is, of course, that you have to spend an action to do it. But this is what it gets you. At the start of each supremacy phase, each enemy regiment in contact with stands with this special rule suffers 1 hit for each stand in contact with it that has this special rule. It may take an injury roll as normal. So, this is not instant death or anything like that, but it's punishing the people that you're in line with. So if you've charged something and you're holding them into combat, it's punishing them for staying there. I like that because it's essentially free hits. It's not groundbreaking or game-breaking in any sense, but this is something that could, if you use it right, give you a very strong advantage. And because it only has to be within 12 inches, it doesn't necessarily have to be something within your regiment. It's probably worth noting. I would be using this on something that's a group of figures, not just one monster though. That's just my personal preference. There is something else that kind of fits in line with that, which under Talismans is Gifted in Fire. The character has the special rule, and you get +1 evasion. Now, +1 evasion's not going to make a huge difference. It's not why I'm really picking it. I mean, it's better than not having it, obviously, but 1 evasion over 0 is not going to save you from everything. But that means that this character has the Aura of Death as well. Might even be worth taking more than one of these. 20 points, 15, it's 35 points to have both of them, and then there's 2 characters that are punishing them like that. The last one that I want to point out is under Weapons, and it costs you 30 points. It's called Perfectly Balanced. Character has the Flurry special rule. Flurry means you get to re-roll all of your to-hit rolls when you're performing a clash action. So all of this is just helping. None of this is extremely expensive, but it's all stuff that's going to be very, very useful. And that, when you've got 5 attacks, is potentially very, very good. And I'm not saying that the rest of this is not worth looking at. There's still some gems to find in there. These are just a couple of the things that stood out to me and I wanted to mention. So, that's the Hold Raegh. Thank you again for joining me. This will be the last of the Dweghom until the new year. And until then, play more games. Thank you very much for checking out this video. If you're enjoying the content of this channel, please like and subscribe. If you're in a position to do so, please check out patreon.com/gettingtabled. You receive early access to at least 80% of all videos that we put out, and you get access to the video edition of all of our podcasts the day that they're uploaded. If you'd like to check us out on social media, facebook.com/gettingtabled is the most active. We also have a Discord server. You can email our team at gettingtabled@gmail.com. If you're on either Twitter or Instagram, you can find us at gettingtabled. And until next time, play more games.